Good morning, everyone, again. I hope all of you are having a good day. Welcome to this orientation webinar by the Atma Network. So, before I begin with this session, we like to understand a few things from you, and hence I would request all of you to just answer these three simple questions that you will see on your screen now. So, the first question is, when did you join Atma Network? Uh, Please make sure you're able to answer this question. How did you hear about us? And if you have any presence on social media, which would be Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, Instagram, Google Plus, any of these pages, or a blog page, if you have your presence on any of these social media pages, more than one or two, please answer that accordingly as well. Okay, I'm going to give everyone 30 more seconds to just quickly finish this up. Okay. Uh, Thank you so much for filling in the way. I'm going to start with the Atma Network Orientation webinar now. In today's session, we are mainly going to walk through the following things. We will introduce what is Atma and what Atma does, where are we present, a little bit about our history, a little bit about Atma Network, how can you really effectively and efficiently use Atma's website, and also getting introduced to Atma Network, different initiatives. So just apart from this core tool that we're going to introduce to you, we also have a lot of different initiatives for our organizations to just help them in more common challenges. And then probably I think all of this is going to take about 40 to 45 minutes at best. And we will then proceed to a small question and answer session. Uh, Great. So the idea is uh, to first introduce that who is behind Atma, who is Atma's team really. So Atma was started in about 2007 with four partner organizations, and now about 10 years later, we have worked with 50 plus NGOs to build their capacity, and we are now present in Bombay, in Pune, and soon to be in Ahmedabad. Uh, so who are we? So basically, Atma is more like an organization that supports non-profit organization, be it in the any development sector, to help them strengthen their processes and systems. It's sort of, we feel like we're a movement of thinkers and doers who are trying to change the mind of the organizational consultants who are working for the cause of educational with a professional background in business or education. And we're trying to sort of, combine our strong result focused approach with more collaborative attitude that is allowing NGOs to scale up, expand their reach, and then, have more learning outcomes. How do we do it? So the approach to do this is through two programs. One is our accelerator program, which is a more on-ground presence where we work with an NGO for about 3 years and help them work through different challenges. So we give them one partnership manager, we give them a few volunteers to work with them. The other approach that I am going to introduce through this tool is called the Atma Network, where we want to leverage on the immense potential of technology, where we are trying to build our experience and expertise constantly through this online free tool and help organizations overcome these challenges. So, in today's session, we are going to look more in detail of the latter program. Uh, so why was Atma Network started? Uh, so, as you all know, that we started in 2007, and after working with multiple organizations, we were able to sort of build knowledge and expertise that was required to sort of overcome some significant challenges that were being faced by these social impact organizations. And what we had realized that the model that we were working on had sort of proven to success. And gradually we had got a list of more and more organizations that had started to apply for an accelerator program. Obviously, in no time, we realized that we do not have the resources to reach out to all the organizations at the same point in time. Hence, we thought we would build something that could be accessed by all the organizations, irrespective of where they are. Because sometimes getting just capacity building consulting is also very challenging, especially if you're in a semi-urban or rural area. Hence, we built this tool which has a huge comprehensive library of, a lot of tools that organizations can use. And what we did with Atma Network is we made it available to organizations from any development sector. So if you're in education or healthcare or an environment project, you can definitely use the Atma Network. Uh, Now, before I talk further about Atma and Atma Network, let me introduce these two uh, through a small video.
Schools are important, that's no secret. And education is a necessity and a human right. It's also a luxury for most. In India, around 40% of children aged under 15 years live below the poverty line. The chance that these children will go to school are slim. This is Tara. If she doesn't learn how to read and write, she will probably remain in poverty for the rest of her life. This is an education NGO. They will try to give Tara an education, but they lack the resources required to scale and grow their organization, which means that Tara will lack the skills to grab the opportunities for a better life. The situation for Tara and her friends is dire. But there is hope. Atma is an NGO that focuses on creating scalable, sustainable, efficient, and effective education NGOs, helping them reach not just Tara, but her friends as well. Atma works with NGOs like this one, helping them expand and be more effective, transforming them into high-impact organizations. This means that more of Tara's friends will have access to an education that helps them build a better future. One that is free from illiteracy and poverty, for them and their children. Help Atma work with these NGOs so that they can help those in need better. We need your help. They need our help.
Great. So I hope everybody is able to see that video. Uh, Before we move on to the next video that talks more about Atma network in specific, if you guys have any questions, any comments at any point in time, please feel free to put that onto our chat window. Uh, I'm now going to start with another video on the Atma network, and then we can move on to talking more about how Atma networks work with this organization.
Often, a lack of resources and expertise prevent even the most high potential organizations from maximizing their impact. The Atma network aims to provide strategic support to such organizations and social enterprises at a click of a button. Since 2007, Atma has worked with more than 50 NGOs in Mumbai and reached out to more than 80,000 beneficiaries. Through our experience, we have assembled a large collection of useful how-to guides, templates, readings, best practices, and examples. Enough material to create an NGO self-help library. And you get all of this for free. With Atma Network, you will understand at what stage your NGO is at present and which of the 10 organizational developmental areas you must focus on in order to become bigger, better, and stronger. Our hope is that by giving young NGOs access to this information, they can become more autonomous and accelerate their own growth. Interested in checking out the network? Sign up today and get started.
Uh, Great. So I think it sort of is clear why what Atma does, what Atma Network is. To just put in a little more detail about us, the Atma Network is a free platform for all the entrepreneurs starting and scaling their social companies or NGOs. And the Atma Network gives these entrepreneurs free how-to guides, templates for immediate execution, and examples of how other organizations have addressed these same challenges. Uh, the other thing that we're trying to do through this platform is to connect these entrepreneurs with each other so that they are able to learn better from each other, from each other's experience. Uh, Hence, we're trying to just not make this an online platform available to organizations individually, but this could be a platform where organizations can find more organizations like theirs and start working with each other. Uh, so through this tool, we are able, I mean, we are hoping that we are able to help as many organizations as possible to, help them become bigger, better, and stronger, which is Atma's motto. And this means that organizations are able to quickly move through these challenges that they have, and they're able to become sustainable, they're able to scale their programs, and at the same time, there is some reduction of effort from their end, which means they're not starting on every challenge from the scratch. Like I mentioned, we are trying to build a more collaborative environment where everybody can learn through their peers. Uh, so just before we start with a small demonstration of the tool, I'm going to give you some basic fact about Atma Network. So the Atma Network now has more than 200 organizations. Like I mentioned, we have a huge comprehensive library which has more than 90 projects that an organization can take up individually. And we have more than 500 resources in terms of these guides that could help organizations and that organizations can actually quickly just adapt and start working on. They really don't have to like learn through. We in fact have these guides that help them learn through also. But I'm not going to talk about these resources in detail now. I think this will come as a later part of this webinar. Uh, So that's a little bit about Atma and Atma Network. Before we deep dive into the demo of the tool, I just wanted to check if anybody has any questions until this point. Otherwise, we're going to start with another short survey. I'm just going to wait for a quick 30 seconds to check if anybody has any questions. Else we'll just move on with the survey. Cool. So I'm going to put another survey on everybody's screen. Please take 2 minutes. I don't think it's going to even take 2 minutes. It's going to take about 10 seconds. Just answer these questions. So the first question is, when did you last log into the Atma network? Just be very honest with it. If you've never logged in, please mark. So if you don't remember when you last logged in, do mark that as well. We just appreciate all the honest responses in this. The other one is, have you used any other technological platforms like Atma Network? This question is specific to whether a capacity building platform that you have ever used uh, uh, that could help your organization. So if there is anything that you use on the web to just help you with different processes in your organization, mark that as yes. And obviously, if you have logged in, the third question only becomes valid if you've ever logged into Atma Network. Then have you ever seen its resources or used its resources? Then mark a yes. Otherwise, no. Great. I'm going to give everybody another 30 seconds to just think through and answer these questions. And then we are going to move to our next section, which is demo about the tool. Great. Thank you so much, everyone, for putting in your vote. We will now move on to the demo of the tool. The demo has been created through a series of videos, again, that are instructed by me. What we will do is run these videos through you. While watching the videos, I would just recommend that you watch the video. If you have any questions, refrain from typing on the chat window. You can probably note it down if you have a notepad. And then once the videos are over or we're switching, then you can put in your questions so that everybody is able to watch these videos without much distraction. Uh, Great. So I'm going to start with the first video, which talks about how can you just log on to our website. So now, without further ado, we will start with a demo of our website. To go on to the Atma Network website, please log on to www.atmanetwork.in. Once you open the web page, if you're not a registered user, you can simply register by giving your email address and your organization's name and sign up for free. In case you're already a member of Atma Network, then you can go onto the login button and start working with different resources and tools. However, if before signing up you want to look at other resources, please go onto the resources page, which will take you through the detailed view of the resources available on this tool, and you can see all the possible projects that Atma has built for you. You can also then go to our webinars page to see all the webinars that we've been posting as a part of our webinar informative series. More on this would be coming up in our next section. And finally, if you would like to get involved with Atma, there are two very easy ways to do this. One, you can become a volunteer for a network where you can start volunteering with either Atma or its initiatives or networks organizations. The other easier way is to get involved by just uploading your resources. You can help other organizations with the resources that you've built. For example, if you've been able to come up with a really good marketing collateral or a marketing plan, you can just give that plan to us and we will remove all the personal or financial information from this and put it on our website. And then other organizations can build an equally amazing plan for themselves. Then comes the help center. This is one step for all the help that you would need through the website. Be it the guides, be it a query that you need to submit and contact the Atma team, or the commonly asked questions where you can get a quick resolution.
Moving on, let's see what all do we have on our website. Once you scroll down, you will see a couple of things. One is why should you be using the Atma network? Next, the number of projects, the number of organizations, the number of resources that Atma network has to offer, accompanied with a small introduction video about the Atma network. We have seen this video before in this webinar. Once you scroll down, you will see the most popular resources which is available to all the organizations without registration. These two projects are donor management and communication plan. Moving on, you can also see our partners and our testimonials. These testimonials are representative of the organizations that we've worked with. You can also subscribe to your newsletters by signing in here and get regular updates from the Atma network. You can also fill in our feedback form and give us a regular feedback as to how can we best improve your experience and help you in accelerating your growth and being a part of your journey. You can also go through our blogs and know more about Atma through these links in our footer. Finally, if you would like to be part of our social media handles and get regular updates about Atma from there, just click on one of these links and join us. Let's move on to our registration process. As you know, for all the new users, a registration of the organization is needed. This can be done by anyone who is a part of the organization, be it a founder or be it a staff member. All you need to do is click here on the sign up button after entering your organization's name and your email address. Soon after, you will be redirected to a registration form where you will need to fill in a few contact details and details about your organization, the organization's vision, mission, and a few other registration details. Soon after you fill the form and click the submit button, you will receive an email. This email is an acknowledgement to your successful registration. After this, the Atma admin will look at your request and approve it, and you'll receive another email for setting your password. Once you've set your password, you can now log in to the profile. Now, after you've registered successfully, you can log in by either clicking on the login button on the top of the bar or from the button at the bottom of this picture. A login pop-up would then come up and you can log in by giving your username and password. In case you've forgotten your password, don't worry, you can click on the forget password option mentioned here and provide your email address. Then an email would be sent to you where you'll find the link to reset your password. You can then reset your password and join in. After you've registered and logged in,
We strongly recommend that all the organizations should go and complete that profile. This helps the Atma team understand the organization's stat and current status while they speak to the organizations and help them and guide them through their challenges. If you go to the resources page, you will see all your resources are categorized into 10 categories. Before we deep dive into each of these projects under each categories, let's look at all the 10 categories. In case you do not understand any of these categories, you can write your questions in the chat window and we would love to take them at a later point of time. To just run over all these categories again, human resources deals with staffing, administration is more about managing the organization's admin staff, leadership is to build the skills of the leaders in second line management, the finance deals with the accounting and budgets of the organization, fundraising helps organization raise funds for their organization's programs, marketing helps organization get publicity and establish their own brand. Monitoring and evaluation helps organization assess their impact. Programs mainly help organization design their programs, document them, and help them expand and scale their programs. Strategy helps organization plan well for the next coming years for their organization. Governance help organization manage their board effectively. Now, if you click on any of these modules, you'll find a list of projects that are under this category. You can click on any of the projects that you feel that is an urgent or important project that the organization needs to take. Or you can refer to the next steps mentioned here, which are the suggested steps by the life stage survey tool. If you click on any of the projects, you will find 4 sets of documents. The first kind is the blueprint. The blueprint is a step-by-step document which helps you find the exact process that you need to follow in order to build a certain system within the organization. The next one is the example. This helps you see the output of the process that you're doing. These examples are the real life examples that Atma has been able to complete with its partner organization. The next thing that you would see would be tools. These tools help you build your checklists, assessments, or any general sheet or documentation that you would need to start the process. The fourth and the final category is the readings. The readings helps these organizations filter out their Google search and understand some of the best practices to do a particular process and sometimes understand what that particular process could mean. If you face any difficulties on following the documents, you can enter your comments in the comment box below. We would also love to hear any feedback or suggestions that you have regarding the project in this comment section again. In case you have questions that fall outside the project but might concern one of the areas of the organizational development areas that we've just discussed, or probably even not fit into those categories, you can very well ask those questions through the forums. We encourage organizations to ask questions through forums because this helps other organizations learn through their peers' doubt. To start a new forum, all you need to do is click on the Start Forum button, fill in a simple form, and just press Submit. As soon as you've started a forum, all the other organizations can help you solve your challenge. Not only that, the Atma team would also help you work through your challenge. In case your question has already been listed in one of the forums, all you need to do is just enter a comment as to whether you've been able to get help through the forum or is there something else that you're still facing a difficulty with, and like before, the other organizations on the network or the Atma team will help you solve your query. So now, after seeing all these projects, you may ask, so you have a lot of projects that could possibly help us, but which one do we start working on, and which would be the right way to go? The Atma network helps you take a self-assessment survey. This assessment tool will help you gain a deeper insight into where your organization currently is and where it needs to go. Research has shown that most organizations advance through a common path of life stages, which are divided into 5 stages, which are being formed, becoming organized, growing, changing, and expanding. The Life Stage Survey is designed to tell you how your organization is performing across these areas. Based on your answers, the survey will identify which life stage area are you at. Now, something that everyone should remember is that no life stage is better than any other. It simply describes where you are as an organization. Knowing your life stage can help you understand your areas of strength that you can leverage. It also highlights areas you could improve and suggest strategies you might want to take as next steps. The leaders of the organization should ideally take this life stage survey with his or her team. The team should include other decision makers in the organization, for example, managers or board members, to help you get most well-rounded and objective responses. You should remember that the life stage survey will not give you an overall rating of the organization, because organizations are multidimensional just like people. However, when reading the survey results, you may notice a pattern in your life stages across the organizational areas. If it helps you assess the overall life stage, you can observe this pattern and use it to choose for yourself the life stage that seems closest to where the organization is. We encourage you to take the information that the life stage survey gives you and use it whatever way is most meaningful to you. We also recommend that you take this survey annually or at least every 6 months. Now, you would want to know how should you go about taking the survey. To take the survey, you'll find the survey link on your dashboard here. In case you do not find the survey link on your dashboard, please write to us at network@atma.org.in. In such cases, the admin will reset your survey and help you take the survey once it is active again. Once you see the survey link, you will get the instructions to take the survey. We recommend you go through all these instructions and then only click on Take Survey. Now you will see the survey divided into 10 categories, namely human resources, finance, strategy, fundraising, etc. If you notice, each of these sections will have about 15 questions to take. All you need to do is read through every question, understand the explanation of the question, and then rate it from 1 to 5. Now, once you've read the statement, make sure whether your organization strongly aligns with the statement, then you select strongly agree. If the organization does not align with the statement at all, then select strongly disagree. In case you feel that you have parts of the questions in place in your organization, you can select 2 or 4. If you feel like you would neither agree or disagree to the statement, please select 3. After you've answered all the questions of a section, click on Save and Submit button. If you're unsure of your answers, then you can very well click on Save and Draft button, which will help you change your answers later on. If you've clicked on Save and Submit button, the system will not allow you to change your answers later. After you've done this for all 10 sections, you can click on Save and Submit, and you'll get your results where you see your life stage number, where you see what it means, and you will also see what is your path ahead. If while taking the survey you receive an error as shown above, then it would mean that two of your sections have the same score, and hence the system cannot decide clearly which life stage you will be at. In such cases, you should go through all your sections again, reevaluate an answers, and change if you feel something needs to be changed. The Atma network also provides you the facility to add more people from your organization onto this fabulous tool. To add these people, who will now be referred to as module users under your organization, all you need to do is just log into your profile, go to the Add Users option on the dashboard. Here you would see two options. One is to add the users, and other would be to assign these users to the modules. Your first step should be adding a user by clicking on Add Module User button. After this, you will get a very simple form to fill and submit. As soon as you fill the form, an email is sent to the module user to set their own account and password. After this, the user will get their own login ID and password to register into their account. After the user has accepted the request, you will get an option to assign multiple modules to the user. To do this, just click on the Assign Modules button and keep assigning different modules to the users. This helps the users access the modules that they would be working on. An example of this can be if you're trying to add an admin person onto the tool, add the person and assign him to the finance, administration, and all the other areas that the person will be working on. This will help you have all the members of your organization onto the tool and constantly help them take guidance from the network as and when needed. Not only does it help the organization to manage the staff members, but it also gives the independence to the staff members to use the tool whenever they want. It will also empower every staff member of the organization to learn from the tool and build their own skills, ultimately meet the desired goals quickly. Finally, we come on to how would a module user profile would look like. So now we know that an admin can add module users under the organization's profile. After the admin person has assigned a few modules to these module users, once these module users log into their profile, they see the exact set of modules that they were assigned. This helps these module users streamline to the work that they're doing and focus only on these areas. The module users are free to look at all the modules that they have been assigned to and work on any project that they would like to.
Okay, great. So I hope this gives you a lot of insight after watching these videos. Based on the demo of the tool, if you guys have any questions, I'm going to give you about next 30 seconds to just put them down in the chat window. In case you do not have any questions, I would assume that the videos have been really on to our last section for today, which is going to be talking about initiatives.
people who do not have any questions or anything to ask right now, you can go ahead and fill us next survey, uh, which has mainly two questions. One is mainly if there are any other resources that you would want to see on Atma network, any other feature, any other thing, please put in your question, put in your suggestion there. And the next one is like a small pop quiz to see if you know how many ODAs are there on Atma network that an organization can work on. So just in the interest of time, we've put it in together. After this, we're going to quickly run over our third section. Okay, great. So thank you everyone for putting in your answers for this. In case if you feel that there are any more comments, please put that in the chat window later on. We are now going to move to the final section, which is our initiative. So what is that Atma Network does apart from running this awesome tool? How are we otherwise helping organizations? So the first thing that you see is informative webinars. So basically Atma Network conducts informative webinars every 2 months, which means there's going to be one topic that we talk about every 2 months. These topics mainly range from crowdfunding, strategic planning, program designing, marketing, any other common challenge that we see that most of the organizations are facing. The topics for these webinars are mainly based on different organizational challenges that organizations collectively face. The main aim of these webinars is to acknowledge and overarching problems that various organizations are facing. To get more updates regarding these webinars, you can just subscribe to our newsletter, go on our social media posts like our Facebook page, or be waiting, you can just wait for more of our emailers where we announce these webinars. The next initiative that we are doing is peer-to-peer webinar. Again, like the informative webinar, the peer-to-peer webinars happen once in 2 months. Is that in the spirit of many to many, Atma Network has started these webinar series where NGOs from different regions and sectors can come together to tackle a common problem. So these webinars are very issue specific and will allow organizations to directly share resources, case studies, and best practices with one another. These webinars also allow organizations to thought partner and gain first-hand insights into programs and processes of other organizations. So again, if you want to know the topics that we mainly cover for these webinars are again around location or sector specific challenges that organizations are facing. If you would like to sign up for this webinar or given you suggestions as to what are the common challenges that you are facing, you will see a Google link in your chat window. Please sign up onto that form. The next started is called Get Featured in these. So what Atma Network is doing is it is providing organizations like yours the opportunity on our different platforms and channels for free. So for a month, the spotlight would be on your organization, highlighting your organization's major achievements, inspiring stories, history. So if you would be interested to be under Atma Network spotlights and be on its communication channels, you can sign up by clicking on the link in the chat window that you see. These are some of the examples where we have covered a few of our organizations.
And then comes our next initiative, which is Atma Network Advisory. So Atma Network is giving all the organizations a chance to work closely with our partnership managers for a period of 1 month. These managers will help you provide their expertise on different areas of organizational development where your organization may need help. This counseling will involve a hands-on approach where organization-specific insights and advice will be shared. Therefore, this is something that should not be missed. So if you are having any pressing challenges, or if you have any challenge that you've been trying to get external help on, you should definitely apply for this initiative. To be able to apply for Atma Network Advisory, your organization should have done a few things. One is your organization should have been in existence for about 2 years. You should have all the registrations in place, which is ATG 12A. You should be a registered member of Atma Network, and you should have completed the life stage survey on the Atma Network. Finally, something that you should also have is a permanent staff members that are working with your organization that would be coordinating on this project with the partnership members. So, if you're interested to register for this, please sign up on the link that is given in the chat window right now. The next and the final thing is we help organizations connect with resources. So that's called resource linkages. So Atma Network offers to connect organizations with potential donors, crowdfunding portals. We also connect you with skilled volunteers who can help you tackle problems related to marketing, monitoring and evaluation, human resources, and more. For example, if your organization is struggling in solving a financial planning issue, we can help you put in touch with a CA in your city. So, if you have any challenge, you can get in touch with us today. All you need to do is write to us on our email ID. Just something that everybody should know, that this initiative is only carried out on an availability-based system. So Atma brings to you a lot of opportunities to be able to work more efficiently and reduces the replication of efforts. We are always encouraging organizations to work in more collaborative environment, sharing their best practices. And hence, we are trying to build a bigger network of organizations that can work and grow faster. So we will now open the session for question and answers. In case you have any questions, just let us know. All you need to do is just type in your queries in the chat window, or you will see a raise hand button on your screen. You can click on that as well. So if you're not able to answer your question during this session, don't worry. We will definitely respond back to you after the session. So I'm going to give everybody about a minute to see if you have any questions. Otherwise, we will close the session.